Okay, so I'm gonna make this as fast as possible because I am preoccupied right now. But see, I'm back. Okay. So I will say, I don't remember exactly all the details of the situation, but I'm only doing it now because I haven't done it, and I was supposed to been do it months ago, but you know, parenting and whatnot. So this is the story of my postpartum preeclampsia. So basically, my first 6 weeks after birth they're fine. Like, I think on the third week I went back to playing kickball. Everything was good. I was cool. Granted, I was still sore and whatnot, but like other than that, I was pretty cool. Played 2 weeks in a row. No, I played 1 week and then we had a bye week and then I played. So everything was pretty cool. I was just chilling. So if I remember correctly, it was like May something, I want to say. Like May 19th probably. But I had a headache, right? That wouldn't go away. Like my headache kept coming and it was like gradually getting stronger and stronger each day. I would take Tylenol and all of that or whatever. And it still wasn't working. So one day I told my husband, I was like, it was like nighttime, I guess. It was like 2 in the morning. I was like, I gotta go to the hospital because like it is pounding right now. Like I cannot, not having a clue why. So we go to the emergency room. I check in or whatever, and it's taking like, I was there for at least 4 to 5 hours because I know in 2 hours, because my daughter, she was still, I think she was like 2 months around the time. She was like 2 to 3 months, so I had to go out because they were sitting in the car with the heater on. I had to go outside to feed her, and then I came back in, and they still hadn't called my name. So I was just waiting and waiting, and it was about time to feed her again. So I was like, it's late. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We just finna go. I just told my husband, like, we just finna go, and I'll just come back if it starts to bother me again, which it was. But I didn't want to stay there, so I wanted to go home. So we went home, and then the next day was hurting, and then the next day, like the day right after, like, well, actually the same day it was hurting because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I called my OB because he was like, call the OB if you ain't staying, like call them in the morning. So I called them and I told them, and I was like, I got a headache, a real bad headache or whatever. I don't know why. I've been drinking water. I'm not dehydrated. I don't know what it is. Just, and they were like, have you tried the emergency room? I was like, yeah, I went, but like they were taking so long, so I left because I had to feed my daughter. And then they were like, no, we want you, don't leave. She was like, don't leave, like we need you to go back because we don't want anything to happen or whatever. So I go back not that same day, but the next day, because I wasn't going to go back regardless. So I went back the next day only because it started back pounding again that night. So as soon as I checked in, they called me, and I'm thinking like, damn, like did OB call? Like did they call and say like, oh, she's coming back? We don't know when, but she's coming back. So they called me back and they took my blood pressure or whatever. They were like, have you ever heard of pre-eclampsia? I was like, yeah. Then they were like, we see you came here the other day. Your blood pressure was 160/90. I was like, what? I Listen, y'all. All my entire life, I have never had high blood pressure ever. Like every time I would take my blood pressure, like someone would take my blood pressure throughout my life, I was always told you have athlete's blood pressure because it was always like low. So I didn't. I'm like, what? I had no idea. It was like, oh yeah, like it's high right now. Like you could have a seizure or stroke, whatever. And I was like, oh shit. And they immediately got me to the back. And I was like, Oh gosh. So I'm sitting there or whatever. And then my husband, he pulls up and he was like, no, actually the doctor was like, so we're gonna treat this as preeclampsia or whatever. And I'm like, okay. Mind you, I already had a bad experience with the hospital. So you guys saw my birthing story. I already know I had a bad experience with the hospital. So I'm just thinking, oh, these people just fucking with me. Like, let me see my blood pressure. So they let me see the blood pressure. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's high. So the guy was like, maybe you have allergies. And in my mind, like, yeah, I got allergies, but why does my fucking head hurt? My I get it, sinus, whatever. But like, it was hurting like it never had before, and I've been having allergies my whole life, and it never was this bad. So he was like, we're gonna treat it like preeclampsia. I was like, okay, but is it actually preeclampsia? And he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So he was like, where's your child? I was like, she's with her dad. He was like, yeah, because if she wasn't, we were gonna have someone. You were gonna have to find someone to watch your child. I'm like, why? They're like, oh, we're gonna keep you. I was like, oh shit. Mind you, I have never been away from my daughter at this point. I never been away from my daughter for a full day. At this point, I only been away from her for like 30 minutes max. So, he was like, you gotta stay. I just started crying. I was like, I just cried because I'm like, I can't be with my daughter. I've never been away from my daughter overnight, ever. So, my husband came back and with our child, he came back and I told him what happened and whatnot. And he was like, oh, okay, whatever. So time goes by. I'm in the emergency room for a while. And mind you, if something was funny that made me laugh, it was a sign that says "Don't leave equipment in front of sign or the front of the door" or something. I'm gonna put it up, but it was like a computer right there by the sign that said "Don't leave equipment." That was funny to me. I just wanted to throw that in there. They told me like when I got out the EC, they was like, you're gonna have to go to the ICU. I was like, whoa, hold up. Because they was like, your daughter, she can stay overnight, but she can't stay overnight tonight because you're going to the ICU. The step down. They call it the ICU step down. So basically, I need to be monitored more than what mother baby can monitor me with. So they said you're going to the ICU just for, to get watched or whatnot, to get, what do you call it? Surveillance, just to get surveillanced or whatever in the ICU. So I get to the ICU, whatever. I was sad because they said my daughter couldn't come up there, but then I talked to the nurse. It was like, we just got to tell you that because some people may be in here with like contagious stuff. And he was like, it's nobody in here, just you and another person in there. They don't have. I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, she should be good within these walls anyway. So they came up to my daughter. And I was pumping the whole time. I had, did you poopy? Did you poopy? Hold on 1 second. Okay. We're back. But yeah, got that. I was pumping because my husband had to bring my pump because they didn't have one. They only had a manual one. And who knew all that? They had to do 2 IVs. The whole butterfly thing came about again. Telling you gotta use butterfly needle. So they used the butterfly needle for my left, like, inner elbow, and then they put one in my right hand, but it was like not in because it started bleeding. I'm like, it's not in. It was like, oh, it's fine. I'm so glad I'm so glad that IV was not necessary or needed because it wasn't gonna work because it wasn't in all the way. They put it in incorrectly. So night goes by, whatever. And next thing you know, like they gave me magnesium in my IV. They gave me, I forgot what the rest of the stuff was. But this is the part that scared me. Like, I was towed up. Like, for some reason, when I get sick or when I don't feel good, I like to take a picture of myself so I can have it for reference. Like if I'm ever feeling bad one day, I can look back at that picture and be like, oh, at least you wasn't that bad. So I took a picture of myself. Here it is. Yeah. Yeah, face fucked up. Like everything was swollen. Like from like chin up, everything was swollen. So that night, they kept coming in every 30 minutes checking on me, whatever, and then they had a camera up, which I did not realize until after the fact, because I have been pulling my breast out this whole time. So they just been looking at me at the goddamn desk. They should have told me. But anyway, when I would pump the mother baby, because mother baby was right next door, so they would come and get my stuff or whatever and store it in the fridge. So that night I was texting my husband. I was like, hey, just, take care of our child or whatever, because I really felt like it was going to be over. Let me tell you this. My blood pressure started rising again. It went from like 130 to like 140, like 150. Like it kept going up. Like every time, because my blood pressure would get checked every 30 minutes. It kept going up, and I was like, oh my God, I'm finna to die. And then what I should not have done, but I'm trying to be like, because I kept telling the doctor, like, I don't feel good. He's like, it's allergies. So due to the fact that I had that experience from birth, I'm like, you fucking with me. Like, I'm dead ass serious. Like, I don't feel good, and you playing with me right now. So, oh my God. I started having like, I think I probably had a panic attack. I'm not sure. But I thought I was going to have a stroke because my head was pounding. It was getting hard for me to breathe. And the lady came in. I was telling her, I was like, I can't breathe. Like, it's hard for me to breathe. I can't really remember the exact details. Oh, I should have did this sooner. But she came in. She did the pupil things or whatever. And she was like, the pupils are not responding like they're supposed to. And the other lady came in, and they went to go get somebody or whatever. And because I had the heart sticker thingies on me, what they had on the stuff, it wasn't looking good. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my gosh. Because like, I just looked up Google. I just Googled like, I don't even know what I Googled. I was like, signs of a stroke, because it felt like I was having a stroke. Like, when I smiled, this side, like what side is this? My right side was not moving. Like the right side of my face was not moving. And then when she told me to smile, I would smile and then it'll go like this. Like my lip would be just shaking when she told me to smile. Like I was out. Like this side of my face was not moving. This side was not moving, and I was like, oh my God, am I having a stroke? I was so freaking scared, because they weren't acting on it. Like, they were acting on it, but they were trying not to panic. I could tell, because I'm trying not to panic too, but I'm already panicking because I'm finna die, and I'm thinking these people don't give a fuck. So time goes by, and it finally goes down. My blood pressure finally goes down. She got spit all over my arm. Finally goes down, and there's that. I got an allergy pill, and it stopped. So I'm like, oh shit, he was probably right. It probably was allergies or whatever. But it's still treated as postpartum preeclampsia, and then I had to take beta blockers. I had to take allergy medicine and stuff like that. So the next day, I went to mother baby, and then my baby came. My husband brought our baby. There's a picture of her. Every time I see her in this dress, I get sad, because I'm like, this is the day the day after I almost died. So I was in the hospital for 3 days, but like the last 2 days they were able to stay because we were in mother baby. She was oldest baby on the floor. It's so funny. But yeah. and I had to take out weeks. I lost count. I had to take out so many weeks from kickball. I think I went back like the last week in front of the last week, because like I couldn't do anything because I didn't want my blood pressure to go up. So I finally finished my beta blockers 2 months ago. I've been great since. You know, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Like, I wouldn't wish that experience on anybody at all, because it was so scary for me. And I like, in my head, like, even leading up to that, because I always felt bad, like, physically. After my 6 weeks, I always felt bad, like not feeling good at all, headaches, like just my headache mostly. So every time I would see my husband and our daughter play together, I'm like, oh my God, this is what it's going to be like when I'm not here. Like, they're going to be like this. And like, I would literally stop doing things to let my husband do things so he can know how to do it by himself, because I'm thinking, like, I ain't going to be here, so I need him to know how to do this by himself. So I took steps back, and he would play with her mostly, change most of her diapers, bathe her, because I'm like, I mean, I would do it, but I wouldn't do it as much as I used to do it prior to that, and as much as I do it now. So yeah. And that night when I stayed in the ICU, we have a camera in here, you can see it right there, that he angled towards them at nighttime. I could see her crying all the time. I would see them on the monitor, and he would be holding her, rocking her, and I'm like, this is what it's gonna be like. It was so scary. So I wouldn't wish on nobody. So please take care of yourself, ladies. Please take care of yourself. Like, because it's scary, because I was told the only cure to pre-eclampsia is having a baby, and I already had the baby, so the fuck. Like, it was a messed up situation, and I don't ever want anyone to feel that way. I don't want to ever feel that way again. That's why I'm hesitant on if I do want to have another child, but because I was told that it's a higher chance of me having it if I get pregnant again. So yeah. But that's all that I want to talk about today. Sorry it was really short. I just didn't know all the things and details. And she is about to cut up. So, bye.